Peace, love, harmony, trust, strength, and unity. We are outside, so I gotta get used to the bugs that fly on by. I appreciate the love that I'm being shown. Perception is everything. You gotta go with the flow and go with what you know. And I know that everything is truly supposed to be, in this world, God's unconditional love. So when those bugs fly by, they're not trying to annoy me. They're just curious of who I be. And I gotta appreciate that someone sees something beautiful in me. Beautiful enough to come and find out exactly how I be. So, my apologies, Nala. I'm with Nala, my newfound friend, and we're on our walk. And I think we're gonna start these Nala and me talks. Oh, the lighting's so much better. So, in my heart, I guess this is an introduction video. Greetings, everyone. I don't know if you all really need to know my real name, but I am who I am. And if you know who I am, then you know who I am. And if not, I just am who I am. I say Adewale. God sent me here. That's what that means. God sent me here to be victory to the people, to do the things that we're supposed to do. I have a purposeful living that I live through with intent. And my journey so far has been more personal and for myself. But I've also realized that they were lessons, things to learn for me to be able to help everyone else. It's been beautiful. It's been trying. But I'm thankful for it. And on this next new journey, stepping out and doing what's supposed to be, now is the time that I'm supposed to come out and teach what I learned through me. And that's self-care. It's the best care. I was beside my grandfather through his prostate cancer as a young child, and my great-grandmother with her blind sight. My mom's best friend, her son, he had full-blown HIV/AIDS, and I got to be by his bedside and learn through him as well. So since childhood, I've experienced bedside manners, watching the doctors do what they do, seeing their science mysteriously, just so exciting, just so intriguing, but also realizing that there's got to be a stem to what they're doing. And that stem meaning there's got to be something that matches it. And I like to say in the plant life, God's world. Today I've been moved to become an ordained minister in wellness. And when every day and things change, I just wonder use me, God. Tell me, what am I to do? We often are questioned, who is God? What is God to you? To me, God is whatever it needs to be. And right here and right now, it's that DNA, divine natural awareness. That something in me that says, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. As long as I listen to it and it tells me to give love unconditionally, I know it's true. So I tap in, I tune in, and I listen. And I'll be honest, I haven't been very obedient. But today, I am. So today I was moved to share a little about me, to tell you my journey and my history, I guess so that you all can trust me. So my mom, she's one of those that gives you all that she can, but I find herself more like me. It's easier to give on to others than those that are right there in your home, because it's appreciated more from strangers that feel, oh, thank you, oh, thank you. But when you do things for your children or your loved ones, family, it's either they have this expectation like you're supposed to, or it's not appreciated like you're giving them the best that they're supposed to have. And so I could see where my mom is a teacher and a very wonderful Samaritan to the whole community. Growing up, I kind of felt there was a lot that she did not give to me. But today, as I look back and I reflect on it, on my journey, she gave me everything I needed to know. She's like the sharpest tool in my toolbox, because she's one of the greatest strengths, what I needed in me to help me grow. She, for example, I fell by bad bicycle accident. You might could see a little scar on my forehead, my eye, my lip. Messed up the whole entire left side of my face. And my mom, she took care of it. That was like one of those lessons that started me on my journey of self-care. Like, once I learned I could pierce ears with needles and ice cubes, all I needed were friends to let me do the things that I wanted to figure out how to do. I never wanted to be an actual doctor, go to school and have a PhD, because I didn't want to be constricted to the science and the technicalities that this is the only way. I always thought there's got to be another possibility. So I think that's what made me stay more focused on the natural holistic approach, and it's kept me alive so far. Moving on in my life, when I reached my young adulthood, early in my 1998 to be exact, I had to have my cervix coned out for moderate dysplasia. They thought I was having pretty much cancer cells growing. When they came out, were benign, but the coverage was very severe to moderate to severe, and they had to freeze and cone it out, not scrape. So I lost my cervix, and I had to learn how to rebuild myself back. And that's when I learned about how we are that reptilian effect that we have in ourselves, that our cells are going to rejuvenate itself over and over and again as need be, so that we can remain healthy as we're supposed to. And that helped give me more insight on the journey that I needed to do. At that time, I was blessed. Look at that beautiful butterfly. I was married. And so my husband was there, very supportive and understanding. But we also were doing what we needed to do to enjoy each other and love each other. And I was blessed with a daughter. And woohoo, the whirlwind of life began. And today, I just give thanks to it for exactly where it brought me, because she was a lesson in itself. And I get to see that every single blessing is a lesson. So each time I've had a child, there's been an experience that I've had to go through, something new to learn to help keep them here. My daughter, she used to take 7 prescriptions twice a day. Yes, to live, to breathe, to just be here and be pretty. I mean, everything was messing with her, from her skin to her breathing. It was awful. But we got that under control. And actually today, we don't take any medicine, not one at all. And she's doing oh so swell, just wonderful. I'm so thankful and so joyful about it. And so these are just little things to share with you. I've gone through others. Okay, I'm being nudged. So, Someone said, you know you've been healed, or healing has taken place when you can talk about things and it doesn't make you cry. And I have gotten my health journey so far accepted and embraced, and I've used it as the fuel to move on and to do the things I needed to do. And then wham, I was faced a week ago today. That wonderful number 7. I guess today is today. Today I'm gonna speak out and live my life today. I'm gonna heal it in every way. I have a son, and he's 8. So come on, you don't want to go that way. And it's a beautiful son, beautiful. But like I say, each one of my blessings have been a lesson. And I found out I was pregnant with him after my surgery. I think I kind of had an idea something was going on, but confirmation was laying on the operating table from having my appendix removed, and the nurse saying, or in the recovery room, and they thought I was asleep, but I was like just hadn't really opened my eyes. And she says, this poor baby, I hope the baby's going to be fine. She had her appendix taken out, and they got in there. There wasn't nothing wrong with her appendix, so they should have just stitched her back up. But they knew she was pregnant, and they still operated and did what they did. And my healing process was, it was hard, very hard. And I did so much I could do as far as rest and recuperating and naturally trying to remove the toxins out of my system so that the medicines that was used to put me to sleep and stuff didn't affect my unborn child. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Y'all know what time it is. I got a break. Actually, it's Friday. It's that time I have to go get those things we need for tomorrow. Last minute stuff just to make sure we have everything. And today's shopping list only consists of flour. Woo-hoo! Beautiful thing though. Hard thing is trying to find the right flour for Nubian's blends. I love that girl. A lot of times people say that we're so extra, we just go pick up a thing of flour. However, I'm real particular about what we put in our body, what we put on our body, what we do to our bodies. And so we got to get the right flour to make sure that what we give to others, because they say do unto others as you do unto yourself. We forgive the best, and that's just how it is. The fortunate or misfortunate part about it is it's been hard to find lately. Like, I guess I've been buying all that Topeka had to offer and what they've been having in reserve, and I may be the only one buying this flour, and now all of a sudden it's kind of hard to find it. But this is a recap. I never finished my last video when I got cut off the other day, and I guess it was not the time to talk about it because I was getting very emotional and time needed to go. And so today I'm in a better space. I feel better about things, and I can express where I was going probably a little bit better than before. So let me proceed. So what I was sharing was my experience of in the hospital with my son. And I was going to share then my experience and how I felt. Like, I felt victimed. I felt like I was being taken and treated unfairly, unjustly. I felt my son was not receiving the adequate care that he needed. everybody always says don't pull a race card, but I felt it was because I was a black woman. And today, feelings haven't changed, but my way of expressing the views and the feelings I feel have. Because all in all, it's not about how I feel, because that's like an opinion. We all got them. It's about the results and where we are. So, I am a nutritionist by trade because I decided in 2015 to just continue my education and get nutrition. Now, what brought me there was at 18. So we go all the way back. We went to high school. We went to 18. But when I graduated and I brainstormed and I said, what am I going to do with my life at 18? I decided that if I meet a man, fall in love, and have his babies, I'm going to take care of his babies. And I have made that vow. I met a young man, had his children, and I have been taking care of his children. And my ways and thoughts of taking care of his children at that time, back then, and in that now, was education, great health care, making sure that I gave them the best foods possible so that they did not have to suffer like I did as a child with my wellness, making sure that I was there for them in their life every day as possible, to hear their feelings, help them go through emotionally what they're facing, because my mom wasn't always able to be there. Not that she didn't want to, but she was working. And so I just said, my life, I'm going to make sure I dedicate it to my children, because that's what God blessed me with, was being a mom. So I changed my degree in college, and I got a bachelor's in elementary education, and I double majored in psychology, because I loved the mind, and I just wanted to know more about it. But what that made me do was, by the time they were of age to go to school, I'm like, okay, I need to have something that I can fall back on that will take care of me financially and how I feel. And back then at 18, I thought speech pathology was the way. And the reason being is because I had been in a fight. It wasn't an accident. It was a fight. I was helping my friends fight. Somebody was trying to steal our coats on Christmas, and we weren't having it. So yeah, it went down. And this dude, the only thing he got the best of me was he kicked me in my throat with his Timberland boots on, and then knocked my voice box into my spine. And the work that I had to do myself in order for you to hear me speak today was like, I'm getting paid for this. Like, if I got to do this for what it entailed, it wasn't hard, but I saw how many patients have strokes and they can't speak again and they need help talking, or the children who have the hearing issue and they need help with speech. What I went through, it just made me compassionate that I wanted to help others speak. So, and if people wonder why I talk a lot, because at one time I wasn't able to speak, and once you get that can't do and can do again, man, you run with it. And I run with it. I love talking. If I could sing, I'd sing it, but I don't sound that good, so I just talk about it. But yes. So I was supposed to be a speech pathologist. Well, by the time I hit 30, and I was like looking at the world, and my children were getting older, and it was time to step out into that, what am I gonna do life? Speech pathology wasn't in me. I was like, the world doesn't need speech therapy. The world needs health therapy. The world needs to be saved from all that we have been lied about and taught to do wrong. We need to know how to do right. So I then changed my mind on speech pathology and started on my path of wellness and nutrition. And It took a long time for me to figure out what exactly, credential-wise, did I need to carry to deliver my message legally, safely, where people will receive me, and nutrition was it. So I went back and got nutrition. And I'm very thankful that I did. But I did do it after I'd already had children. And so by the time I had Nikhil, my fourth born, I've already had 3 under my belt. I already have done things the way they were. And each child, trust me, was different. Remember Nubian? She was in the bottle. Nazim, he was that allergy kind of attention kid, anger kid. But it was my experience of my pregnancy that I went through. And Niamki, I had a tumor block in my uterus, and he was that one I had to love to get here. And so, I mean, each one of them, each of my children are different, and they're not kids because I'm not a goat, but it's the word we use. So Nikhil came after my surgery. He came at a time where my body was really lacking a lot of substantial nutrients in order to really bring forth life. And I myself, even when I found out I was pregnant, feared having a child because I felt that I might not be healthy enough at that state of conception to carry on this pregnancy. However, like I did with my very first one, I said, if this is your will, so it be. And I did not do anything to prevent me from having the baby, nor did I do anything to help me have the baby. I continued life as I knew I should, and I just did better about myself as I know I should, but I didn't take medicines and stuff like that. So Nikhil came, and he came out a little different. I noticed with Nikhil, when he was born, right afterwards, he had a problem with his eyes. And the problem with his eyes just made me like question with the doctors, what's wrong with him? Because not too many kids have issues like that with his eyes. And they reassured me it's just normal, it's just kids, it's just the hormones going through. But today, thinking about it, stomach, kidney, liver, stomach, kidney, liver. And your liver and your kidneys are what your body helps you to absorb what you need in order for you to be healthy. And our body has levels that we are born with, and if we don't keep them up to par, they will deplete and we can be deficient. And that's iron, magnesium, calcium, zinc, collagen, just to name a few. So like people who have the stretchy skin and elasticity, you're born with your collagen. By the time you get older, your body starts doing, if you stretch your fat cells too much, you might stretch them out and stretch past your stretch back or bounce back, and you have issues. Calcium in your metabolism, you hear people say they have an overactive metabolism or an underactive. They're either too skinny or they're overweight. So much. Calcium, you have hyper people who are very, very active, and they can turn into hypocalcium people, or you have people who are not too active and they can turn into hyper or having too much calcium. It just depends. It varies. But there's also other key factors that go along with what's going on with people. And what happened with my son is, I believe he had some autism traits going on. Didn't want to test, didn't want to label, did not test, did not label. Just did what I know that I'm supposed to do as his mom, which is love, take care of him, guide him, feed him properly, do my best, bring him where he needs to be. And I have. But when we went to the hospital, they said he lacked calcium, vitamin D, and that he was severely deficient in it. And I'm like, gee, I'm not surprised, because the world pretty much is deficient in calcium and vitamin D. And that's not due to our nutritional intake. That's due to supplied to us are sources. And that goes back into, who regulates what we eat? We regulate what we buy because we can pick and choose what we buy. But we are not the ones that regulate what we grow and eat unless we are the farmer. And that is part of what I teach. So kick me while I'm down. Slap me all around. I gotta do better. And this will have to resume again because I'll be back, like James Bond. So I'm back again. This time I'm a little lost. And I realized, I guess this is going to be what it's be, riding with me. I found flour. I found it at Walmart on the north side of town. And they had, all the store's flour on their shelf. Got 4 bags. After the weekend, I go back and get 4 more. Or maybe all that they had to make sure we stay in business for the rest of this season. Because I want my daughter to prosper. At least have the experience of continuous growth. So, back to what I was talking about. I'm not reviewing where I left off. I don't know exactly where I was. But I do know I was talking about my son, about nutrition, about what was going on with us. And wherever I am, I'm where I'm supposed to speak now. So we're going to pick up. So apparently, like I said, calcium is his issue. Low calcium. Now, I wasn't surprised because I got low calcium. My mom has low calcium. She takes calcium pills. So low calcium is not an big issue, but it is an issue. And why I say it's not a big issue is because I do know that for our diet, being that we're leaving out the fortified foods and the vitamin D infused products, I need to supplement the lack that I'm not giving them. And I feel like I've done an exceptional job when it comes to, I put my seatbelt on, my meals that I prepare and what I give to my children. So when you say he's vitamin D deficient, it was like, okay. Then they said his sugar was low, and I'm like, that's different because Nikhil just finished eating sugar. Like an apple is high in sugar. So if anything, he should have high sugar. And for all the different foods that we do feed him, his calcium should be at least balanced, If low, not too low. So when they were saying critically low, it was alarming to me. And at that point, my mind started racing back into DAG. Now, when I say DAG, it's because in my studies of how to take care of my children, I look at where we are, what we're facing with them, and what are the best choices that I have as far as regimens with them. And for Nikhil's sake, I chose for him to be, since birth, a vegan, non-hormonal, non-dairy, non-chemical, from everything he eats to what he uses, because I needed his body to react and respond naturally to whatever he puts in so he can receive it for him, because he already was having a cellular issue when it came to just being normal. And I knew that not as he was abnormal, but according to how the world was receiving people at that time, they were labeling them. And I knew that, what he was facing, I didn't want him to be subjected to that. I wanted to, we're turning a corner. I wanted him to be able to have a chance with everyone equally, like everyone else does. Be able to be accepted and received for just a beautiful person he is. And so I knew that my time to work on him was while he was young, and to give him all the vitals he needs to make him be able to overcome what he was overcoming. So my son, who initially did not speak for many years of his life, had a hard time walking, or not like walking, but keeping his balance falling a lot, the loud sounds, the frustration. He had all those different symptoms. We worked through it. Never had a helmet, never took medicines. We did it with our food. So to me, yes, food is medicine, but it's what you do and how you do it. So I'm up here in the hospital trying to get them to, let's work together and figure out what we need to do for him. See why he's not absorbing it properly. What he's eating, what he's consuming, why is it not helping? Whereas they were trying to say what I was giving him just was wrong, period. And it was challenging, very difficult. 2 days ago, I was in tears. Today, I have embraced that and I have healed through it. I can talk about it proudly with acceptance of, hey, this is how it is. And this is something that we just really need to accept and then move forward. The root, you can't uproot innate feelings that people have that they were born with. Like, I started thinking about genetic-wise and how they consider things to be genetic, like diabetes, heart disease. And it is rather true that it's genetically. If when I go to produce my child, I need a certain amount of levels to make sure I have a healthy child. And if I'm lacking in those levels in my calcium, my iron, then my chances of having a child that is low in calcium and low in iron are more likely than not. And that's a genetic issue. So when that child is born, they have more to fight for on building up their fluids than the one who had them already up to par. And I think about, I'm bow-legged, my mom has bone issues, so we probably were born with bone issues and didn't even know it for generations to come. I look at how much silver hair I have. It's not gray anymore, it's silver. And I'm only 43. That lets me know that there are deficiencies within my genetic makeup that are being passed down generation after generation. However, I have vowed to say it stops here. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to help my son in every way possible. And I'm very proud of my daughter and I and what we have been able to come up with to create for him to be better. Because the medicines the doctors have given us, they're poisoning that I refuse to give to my children. And I said that to them. I said, this isn't an ongoing, like a thing that's been. This is something new. And that's why I know the only thing different he's consumed in the past few months that I've gone against. Y'all know how we do. Let me put this seatbelt on. So, blessings. That video to be continued. It takes a while to get back and do some things. So this is like now day 3. My apologies. And I'm going to wrap it up this time. But each day, it gets better. And so I'm so thankful for that. Today, I feel better again. Even better than yesterday and better than the day before. Especially with the situation that goes on. Today is Saturday and we had an opportunity to be at the farmer's market. I got to, be in my element, talk to people, share what I do with people. And I feel great because there were more black women that came out today. There was a mom with 2 little girls, and just they were like, we making chapstick and we got our beeswax, and that just warmed my heart to see more and more people striving to do natural things, self. And I by all means, I want to help you. I want to show you, I'll show you how. You can join our table, just all the way. So excited about that. Spoke to somebody next to me. Today's a good day. Just see people and can smile and wave. Just smile and wave. Make you feel good. So I'm excited. But Nikhil's doing a whole lot better. He, with this needing 500 milligrams of like a Tums supplement 3 times a day, which who would have thought Tums is like the save-all, cure-all for your calcium deficiency, but it's not. But just making sure that he gets that dose that the doctor prescribed is quite challenging. And so a 90-day tablets for him and Naeem, splitting it, because like I do, if Nikhil got an issue, then we all gonna have an issue. So we gonna just nip it all in the butt, and everybody gonna do what we need to do. So everybody's taking extra calcium. I had to go with this kind. And I was looking at that sugar count. This one is sugar free. And it costs more money. I don't know why people do this. I can't wait to have all the money I need to make everything that we need economically safe, where it won't be any poison. You'll take it, you'll be trusted, you'll know that it's good for you, and it ain't gonna hurt your pocket nor your body. That's like the most discouraging thing for people to want to do better for themselves. Self-care is the best care, but because it costs so much, that's what makes people not do it. And today I'm speaking because I've talked, since I did the farmer's market, went home, went to sleep, came out to get some water and those tablets so that we can continue throughout the day and the weekend. I met 3 different people with issues. They were talking about sharing with their health. One lady with about her kids and her autism and the things that as as a black mom, that she struggled with her children. And she's got a 18-year-old autistic child, a 9-year-old autistic, and a 5-year-old. So all her children have been met on that spectrum. To let you know, this is nothing new. This is stuff that they're now discovering and labeling. And to hear the things she shared and why she went the avenues she went, and comparing what we both in our journeys, I'm so thankful for God to give me the strength and the ability to do the things that I've been able to do. And it makes me feel just makes me feel good. We were featured in an article in a magazine, and it was supposed to be aired, put out in June. And I kept wondering, well, dang, when's the article? I get tired of doing interviews, people interviewing me and questioning me about the things I do, and I never see anything produced from it. And I kind of take it personal, like, what about me did they not want to share? So the article finally came out, and when I read it, and I read why, and it hit me. I know why they don't want to share. I'm doing it. And not everybody wants that to be going on. I get it. However, we gonna make it happen by any means necessary. So stay tuned, because the interview exclusive, I'm gonna give it to you, since they didn't want it. You get it? I'm gonna do it myself. Anywho, I've reached my destination, so my video is a wrap, and perfect timing. I could go ahead and put all 3 of these together, and then y'all get something else. I'm supposed to be doing my videos in the Coming to America, the sister, and how she was, that sassiness for a friend of mine. So I'm gonna get into character, and I'm about to step up and do what I need to do. I love you all, and I will chat with you soon. Toodles.